Hello, yes, and welcome to another episode of MLS Ireland. Will I be bringing to you my predictions for this week's MLS games? There's only 3 more weeks left, so stay tuned. Hello, yes, my name is Sean, and thank you very much for joining me. I know I was off last week, but I did a wee small one on Wednesday. Hope you just enjoyed it. So this is my predictions. If you're new to this, hit that wee subscribe button. It'd be brilliant of you. So we might as well kick into the start of the games. It's going to be on tomorrow night, Saturday night. This first game is going to be on TV, which is Atlanta against San Jose Earthquakes. Going to be a good game. Atlanta starting to get back into the swing of things, even though they lost their last home game, which was really strange for them. And then they beat Cincinnati, but they got beat by Columbus Crew, who, let's say, are third to last in the whole fucking thing, which, when you think about it, 3-1 against Columbus Crew, which is really interesting. Then they got beat by Philadelphia 3-1 the week before that. So this game against San Jose, who are starting to slowly fall back down the ladder again, losing their last 2 games away from home, and they're going to be playing away from home again. It's just away from home, they're not doing that very well. They're scored the last game against New York City, which was pretty good again in New York. New York struggling to get results, so wasn't too bad. Their defense is probably a bit better, so it done very well for them to score. They didn't score against Real Salt Lake the game before that. But saying this game, the way Atlanta are at the moment, they are kind of leaking in goals. So for this game, it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a tricky one, so I'm going to go for 2-1 win to Atlanta. I just do believe the way Joseph Martinez is at the moment, scoring 2 goals. I do think he's going to kind of win this game for them. The next one is Vancouver against Columbus Crew, who won in Atlanta against Vancouver, who, let me see where they won their last game against Houston, which wasn't too bad, but they got beat by New York City before that. Again, they're playing Columbus Crew, who are not doing too bad at the moment. They're probably one of the best informed teams, surprisingly, at the moment. They've only lost 1 game. That was against New York City, but they drew 3 games and won 2 games, but those 2 games were away from home. Now, people who say these predictions are quite easy, this isn't easy, especially for MLS, where games could be all over the fucking place. So Columbus Crew have scored quite a few games. There's only one they didn't score, was the loss in New York City, but they're scoring games. Vancouver are scoring in games, but probably not as much as well, but you know what I'm saying. So up against Columbus Crew, I do think Vancouver will score a goal in this game, and I do think Columbus Crew, but I think Columbus Crew is going to score 2 and Vancouver to be 1. So 2-1 win to Columbus Crew. It's going to be a good one. The next one is Cincinnati against Chicago Fire. Cincinnati now won 1 game against Montreal, but lost every single fucking other game. Their home record is shocking. They got beat by Atlanta on the weekday on Wednesday. They're coming up against a Chicago Fire team who they won their game and then lost during the week there against Toronto 3-2, but they beat LA Galaxy pretty well. It's going to be that's Colorado, sorry, Chicago Fire. I was looking at the wrong one there. Yeah, they beat Dallas quite easily. Then they drew against Columbus Crew. So this game is going to be a good one. I'm actually looking forward to this game. It's going to be a good one. I think Cincinnati will score a goal, but I think Chicago Fire may get this game. So I'm going to go for 3-1 to Chicago Fire. I know away from home they're not very good, but I think Chicago Fire should have a wee bit too much for Cincinnati in this game. The next one is New England Revolution against Real Salt Lake. New England started off badly, peaked, and then kind of slowly going back down again, up against Real Salt Lake, who, like I say, every time they will win a game, they will lose a game, and they'll draw a game and then win a game, and you don't really see that, which is kind of weird in the last 4 games. They won, lost, won, lost, won, lost, won, lost. They won all their games at home. They actually lost 1 game when they were playing at home, and then scratch that. But they're doing very well. I do expect them to win this game, or do I? I do. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Real Salt Lake away from home in New England. I just do think they're going to have a wee bit too much. It's going to be a tight game, but I think they're going to kind of score early and then just basically defend for the rest of the whole night, as I would expect. The next game is Houston against Orlando, and they're getting mixed up fucking again. It's gonna be a good one. Houston, who aren't doing very well, they got beat by Vancouver quite comfortably, but then they beat Minnesota at home, but then got crap, and then they're coming up against Orlando, who likewise, but they lost their last game against Toronto. Where are they? I'm getting these things mixed up. They got beat by New England, drew against New England and LAFC, which wasn't too bad, but they were at home. So this game, I'm kind of going to go for another draw. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Houston should probably score first, and as always, Orlando's going to try and come back and rally up the crowd and try and get that equalizer near the last minute. Sporting Kansas City against Orlando, Colorado, idiot. Sporting Kansas City got stuffed last week against the LAFC, and if I was doing my predictions last week, I would definitely got that one majorly wrong. Well, the scoreline wrong. Nobody would have ever guessed 7-2 against Colorado Rapids. Now, Colorado annoyed me for the last month when I predicted them basically to lose every game, and they won them against LA Galaxy, Seattle, and New York Red Bull away, which forget about it. But then they got beat by Toronto. So, saying that, in this game I am going to go for a 2-1 win to Colorado. I think Sporting Kansas City just basically got rattled, and I think the playoffs and everything, they've just kind of wrapped up, and probably just going to give up on it. And the next one is LAFC against Toronto. LAFC, who aren't very in great form this past while. They drew, then they lost against Minnesota, which was quite interesting at home. But they drew against Philadelphia away from home, which was a pretty good result, albeit. But then they drew away to Orlando 2-2, but I think that was via up against Toronto, who I'm kind of liking at the moment. They're not making those stupid mistakes, which is probably why they're not losing the games. They lost and drew, and they beat Colorado, but they're doing probably a bit better now, and it probably shows why they're 4th in the Eastern. So pretty well for them at the moment in this game. But I do think LAFC probably is going to get back into the swing of things, and probably going to win 2-0. So sorry, Toronto fans. And the next one is LA Galaxy against Montreal. LA against a Canadian team. It's going to be just kind of weird when you think about it. LA Galaxy are probably the weirdest team in the MLS at the moment. They're if in overall, but when you look at their form table, they're kind of in the bottom quarter. So they haven't been great in the past while, but they beat Sporting Kansas City 7-2, which is completely baffling when they got beat by Colorado the week before. Saying that, against a Montreal team who really confused me as well. They got beat by Cincinnati. Nobody gets beat by Cincinnati. Montreal got beat by Cincinnati. So saying that, I'm going to go for a Galaxy 2-0 win. Montreal, just go home. Portland Timbers against Minnesota United. Portland, watched them against DC United. They were very poor. They had like 700 shots on target, and then not one of them basically hit the target. Sorry, 20 shots, but 4 on target, which was awful. Then they're at like all their games now are basically all at home. For I think one's away, but they're all at home. This game you would expect them to beat Minnesota, but I'm not confident in them at the moment. against Minnesota, who are a cracking gooey team. They beat Real Salt Lake, which is no mean feat, because Real Salt Lake are quite an all-rounded team who do beat the big teams. So saying that, I'm going to go for a Minnesota win 2-1. So sorry, Portland. The next one is FC Dallas, who got stuffed by Chicago, against New York City FC, who are the best form team at the moment and looking more likely to be, could probably catch LAFC if LAFC lose this week. So it's getting, actually, LAFC thought they're miles ahead and they're not that far now in the overall round points lead. I think it's 5 points maybe ahead, so it's getting interesting. So saying that, Dallas probably not too much in this game. I don't, at home, probably in that heat, it's going to be a tight game. Chicago, it's a long day. New York City should win this game, so I'm going to go for a 2-1 win. FC Dallas should get a wee goal, but I think New York City is going to try and grind this game out and probably win it around the last minute again. The next one is Red Bulls against Union. Philadelphia Union, it's one team I didn't expect them to be where they are at the moment, 3rd overall. They drew against LAFC and they beat Atlanta, which is pretty impressive, to beat DC United. And then they got beat by Chicago. Like I said, this MLS is all over the fucking shop. And then the Red Bulls, who kind of disappointed me this week. They beat Portland, but they kind of got beat by everybody else. So saying that, Red Bulls at home with their 500 fans against Philadelphia. They're probably going to be a good fan base from Philadelphia watching that game, so I think they're going to have a wee bit more momentum in this game. So I'm going to go for a 3-2 win for Philadelphia. It's going to be a good game. Hope to God it's going to be on TV here. I can't remember. And then the last game is the DC against Seattle. DC now have Assad in their ranks up against Seattle Sounders, who 5th overall aren't doing too bad. So it's going to be a good one. DC United, this game's going to be like on Monday morning at it's not too bad, 1 o'clock. DC United probably nick this game at home, you would think, against Seattle, who aren't too bad on the road, but with Assad, with Wayne Rooney and Costa, they may get this kind of group back together before Wayne Rooney leaves, and I do think they're going to go for a good push, so I'm going to go for a 1-0 win to DC United. That is all my predictions. That is a lot of predictions. God knows if I will get any of them right. Put your predictions in the comments below, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye now.